Hey folks, good afternoon. Today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there and soon to be mothers. I am at the property today. Finally got a day off. I've been helping Brother Chris. He's got a family member that isn't doing so well health-wise, up in her years, and needs someone to help care for her. And so they are moving her up there to their property, and they have a cabin just behind their house, and we've been fixing that up, getting it ready for her so that she can be right there with Chris and his wife. Should something happen, there's somebody there to help take care of her. But I've been helping him with that. We've been working on it now for a week and a half, I guess, but it's been every day. Been leaving first thing in the morning, and we'd work till right at dark, an hour past dark, right up in there. So it's between 8 and 9 o'clock at night before I even get home. And it has just worn me out. A lot's been going on. I have not been able to film. This is the first time that I'm putting anything up. The first time that I filmed, other than a few days ago, I filmed a short clip, and I'm going to show that to you to update you guys, let you know what's going on. We made a few changes. We had Thunder Beach, which is Panama City Beach's version of like Sturgis or Daytona Bike Week. All the bikers come into town, and it's thousands and thousands of motorbikes of all makes and models, and everybody shows up. And it's a big moneymaker for Panama City Beach. So every year, they come twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. And the spring one we usually go to. The fall one is right there at hunting season, and so I don't usually make that one. But Kim and I got everything lined up where we could take the motorbike and go out to Thunder Beach, and we don't go to buy nothing, we just go to look. There is some very unique motorbikes, custom motorbikes that people have built out there. Some of them are way upwards of $100,000. Incredible machines. Nothing that I would want. Too much care, too much chrome, too much of everything, and not enough. They are not pleasure bikes to get out and enjoy and ride and save money on gas mileage, and they're not made for that. They're made for looks only, and we just like to look at them. Well, in order to ride our bike, we gotta load it on a trailer, and we have to trailer it all the way up about 9.5 miles from the house to get to asphalt, blacktop road, hardtop, and then we have to find somewhere we can park the truck and the trailer so that it doesn't get vandalized or anything stolen or anything happen. And we got a place that allows us to park in their parking lot now, and I think it's 12 miles from us. But we went up there, we offloaded it, and we have a 20-foot trailer, which is overkill to haul a motorbike, but it's all that we have. And so we loaded up, went up there, we offloaded the bike, fired it up, and locked the truck up, and we took off, heading south on the highway. We get about a mile, and my speedometer goes out, and my check engine light came on. And so I got over in the median, I'd done a turnaround, and I went back to the truck. I didn't want to chance it. I didn't know what was going on. Long story short, the speed sensor, it's between $30 and $80 depending on where you buy it. But speed sensor went out. My motorbike has less than 9,000 miles on it. The sensor went out because the bike sits. I don't get to ride it much. And it's because of the sand out here. That you can't ride it. You have to trailer it. And if I'm at home by myself and I want to ride, I can't. Because normally I have to load it up, get it strapped down. It takes half hour to 45 minutes. And then get someone that'll either ride with me so I can drive up, offload the bike, and then they bring the truck and trailer back home. Or I go up, offload the bike, and I have somebody sit with the bike while I bring the truck and trailer home, and then get somebody else to bring me back to the bike. And when I get back from riding, then I have to call and get someone to take me back to my truck, bring the trailer back, load it up, while they sit with the bike and then drive it. Anyway, it's a hassle. It's a huge hassle. Riding is something I've done. My very first vehicle when I was legal to drive was a motorbike. I raced motocross for a few years when I was in my teens, and I love it. I feel at home on them. Yes, they're very dangerous, especially in today's world. So you have to really be careful where you ride. You got to watch everybody else. But there's hazards that get you. Animals run out in front of you. Riding at night, deer is a big probability, and you have to really watch out for them. And anyhow, I'm dragging this out, and I shouldn't. Sorry. We brought the bike back. We parked the trailer, left it on the trailer, and we just took the truck. I didn't want it. I didn't want that to ruin my day because I was aggravated over it. I don't have the money to go and buy a sensor and put it in. I don't have the time to do it. And so we went out there in the truck, looked at some bikes, and there's two bikes. The last couple of years I've been debating on selling my bike and getting one, either a 3-wheel motorbike or an adventure bike, which you can take down our roads, and you can take it on the highway. It's built for both. But the 3-wheel motorbikes, new, they start at about $40,000 and they go up. That's for the Harley Davidson. And yes, I am a Harley Davidson fan. I do love the motorbikes. The only bikes I've never owned is a BMW and a Triumph. I've owned everything else out there. I just love to ride. I love all bikes. But the only bike on the road, no matter what year model, that you can still buy parts and they're readily available, is Harley Davidson. If you got a 30-year-old Harley Davidson, it is very easy to find any part for that bike that you want. They're still in production. They're the only bike in existence that is like that. And that's one of the main reasons I stick with Harley, is that. Well, we went out there and I looked at some of the 3-wheel ones because we'd like to look this while we're there. And the used ones, they had high mileage on them. They wanted almost $30,000 for them, which is insane. That's too much. And so I went and looked at some adventure bikes. They had 2 new ones and 2 used ones. The new ones, they were expensive, but if any of you are looking for a motorbike, if you're okay with Harley done some goofy stuff. It's stupid what they had done. They invested in that DEI garbage, and before you jump on me, let me explain why I'm calling it garbage. When you own a business and you deal with the public, whether it be providing a service or selling merchandise, offering things for sale, you cannot take sides with anything in the public's eye. You don't want to advertise who you're voting for. You don't want to advertise your political party. We live in a time when people will literally harm you over your views. We live in a crazy time. And so as a business as big as Harley Davidson, there was no sense in them investing, and they invested heavily in the DEI nonsense and the LGQBT, whatever that group is of people. They invested in that, and they let it be known. And a lot of the hardcore bikers, these biker groups, motorcycle clubs, these guys are very serious about that kind of thing. And they, I don't know how to word it. It's almost as though they boycotted Harley, and it has cost Harley millions, hundreds of millions. They lost a lot, to the point of it looks like bankruptcy in the future for them. They really messed themselves up. By electing to donate toward these groups. Any group, not just these two that I mentioned, but any group. You make big contributions to a group like that when you're dealing with the public. People that are not in agreement with that are going to turn their back on you. And it will cost you everything. John Deere, same thing. They done the same thing. And they suffered huge losses. Harley suffered huge losses. But if you're looking for a motorcycle, you can use that for your benefit, because they are practically giving them away. Your credit can be just fair, and they will absolutely finance you. And you may have to put a little bit down, but you can easily get into a Harley Davidson, a brand new one, with nothing down. But anyhow, saying that leads me to where I'm going. I looked at the adventure bike. Salesman come over and asked me if I ever sat on it. It's really tall. The bike's like 31 inches at the seat, and I cannot touch the ground on it. I can put one foot down, but the other foot is on a toe, or I'm on both tiptoes to hold it straight up and down. And he asked me if I powered it on and seen, the instrument gauge and all that. And I didn't. I didn't know how to power it on. And he showed me the switch, which is on the handlebar, but it's far different than what mine is. And I flipped the switch on, and that bike lowered. It lowered down, and I was flat-footed. And I asked him, I said, did this bike just drop down? And he said, yeah. And I said, holy cow. And it felt so nimble. It had a smaller motor than what mine did. Mine was a Heritage. It's a Heritage Softail Classic. Had that old school look to it, which I love. And but it had a 1,584 cubic centimeter engine, which is a big engine. It had 69 horsepower, which isn't a whole lot, but it's got a lot of torque. And that bike it'll pull hard. No problem passing people. No problem getting the speed. It'll get there quick. But it's 849 pounds. And the adventure bike they offer is 1,250 cc's, cubic centimeter. 570 pounds or somewhere up in there. But 150 horsepower, 149 point something horsepower. And anyhow, they tried to put me on a new one, and he said, you put $2,500 down, your payments would be between $432 and $450 something. I said, nope, I ain't doing that. And he said, can you not do, the monthly payment or the down payment? I said, both. I can't afford the monthly payment of $430 to $450, and I don't have a down payment. And he was a new salesman, older gentleman, super nice. Very, very polite, just super nice. He was new to the dealership, And so he's still learning the ropes. And one of the younger guys, been there for years, he come over to help Jerry, the salesman I was working with. And Jerry said, well, do you want to run some numbers? I said, yeah, but I'm not shopping today. I will eventually, but I have no money to put down, and I'm just not doing it. So he went ahead and run the numbers, come back. Oh yeah, we can get you in it. 2,500 down, between 432 and 450 something a month. I said, I'm not doing it. With no down payment, it'll be like 500 a month. And I said, no, I can't do that. And so the other salesman come over to help him, and he said, well, what are you looking at? Where you wanting to be? And I said, honestly, the only way I would do the deal is you pay my motorbike off, because I owe on it. And I owed, I think a little over $6,000 on it. I said, you pay mine off to where I owe nothing on it at all, and then you let me take that bike with no money down. But my payment's less than $300. You got to be right there where my payment is now. I don't want to change nothing. And he said, I don't know if we can do it, but let me see what we can do. And he comes back, and I got approved on it. We didn't pay a penny down. I did trade my bike in. I sold it to them. I didn't trade it in. I sold it to them. They paid it off. Plus, I made money on the sale. And the extra money, applied it to the other bike. And we drove out. Well, that was Friday. We didn't drive out. We got approved, and I got it. We signed off. It was our bike. Saturday morning, we hauled. My bike was still loaded on the trailer from Friday, from when it broke down. And I told them what was wrong with it. I told them the speed sensor went out. It needs a speed sensor. So we trailered it, parked it a couple of miles down the road, because you can't park at the dealership during bike week. And Kim and I offloaded it, and we drove it to the dealership, handed them the key to my bike, the one you guys have seen in the videos, and they handed us the key to the new bike, the adventure bike. And it's different, but I absolutely love it. 4 or 5 days in a row, I left my house and I drove it from my house all the way over to where Chris lives, over there between Vernon and Caryville, way out there. And I drove it home. I did drop it at our gate on the sand. It caught the sand. It turned me sideways across the road. I tried to stop it, and it didn't touch the ground, but I laid it over, and the far left handlebar, when it went down, I put my feet on the ground, and I had the left handlebar was against my knee, so it didn't actually lay in the dirt. But it was hard to get it back up. It was 500 and something pounds, and oh Lord, it was hard. But I did get it stood back up. It does not have sand tires on it, and that white powder sand, we've had no rain. It's been bone dry, and so made me sore. But I backed it out, and I got it straight, and I drove like 20 feet and went into our gate. It was right at the gate. But anyhow, that bike, I've got a video of it. I'll just remove the audio and I'll put it up where you guys can see it. I will be putting our logo on it somehow, probably be vinyl stickers I'll print up, or see if I can find somebody. I can print vinyl, but I don't know how to do the multiple colors and the layering and to make it fancy. I would love to have a decal like our logo. Let me see if it'll pop up without showing everything else on the screen. Showing the time and date. But that logo, the cross, the 2 goats, and then Standing Goats Rescue under it, I would love to have that printed. But when you print vinyl, the rescue is in red. And so you have to print the white portion first and cut it out. And then you have to print the red portion, cut it out, and then you gotta layer them together, put it together so it's one sticker, and then apply it. And I don't know how to do that. But anyhow, I will get our logos put on it. But I just wanted you guys to see the bike in the event we end up going to a meet and greet. I think, sorry, my camera screen was blacking out. If we end up going to another meet and greet, which I will, a camp out or anything of the sort, if any of you, our family here, ends up going there, you'll know what bike to look for. If you're seeing motorcycles and you see mine, please see if I'm right there nearby, because I'd love to meet you guys and gals. That would be amazing. But anyhow, so we did make a change. I got a different bike. I hate that I had to get rid of mine, but it's going to fall apart from not being used. And I waited a lifetime just about to get that bike. And when I got it, we got it with very little money down, that one. Very, very little money down. And the payments were low. I had everything was where I wanted it. And this new bike, I got it for a lower interest rate. And I had a low interest rate on the first one. And he said, the surprising part for him, he said, I don't know how or why they dropped the interest that low, because out of all the bikes we've sold during this bike week thing, he said, we haven't had one with interest that low yet. And we've sold them to people with credit far higher than your credit, and with big down payments, and their interest was higher than that. He said, so I don't understand what happened there, but I told him, I'm not arguing, I'll take it. But anyhow, I do have a different bike. It's been dry for a month and a half, 2 months. I planted seed, been working a lot, haven't been able to get out there with the water cart. And I had a setup I had to put together, a trailer with two 275-gallon tanks on it for water. And I plumbed it all together, put a sprinkler pump on it and my generator. And I would have to tow it with the tractor and water it each section for 12 to 15 minutes per section. And then I had to drive it up and fill the tanks. Our well isn't very good at our home, so it would take literally 8 to 10 hours to fill those two. I'd have to turn it on. I can't run it wide open. I have to turn it on about quarter way on the well, so it wouldn't run our well dry. It's been a nightmare, so I had to stop. And now that it's raining, the seed is not dead. It has sprouted. We have grass about that high now all over back there what I planted. It started raining. Had a little bit of rain day before yesterday. We had quite a bit yesterday. We had almost 3 inches yesterday. And it's been raining today. We got a lot of rain coming, and praise the good Lord, we've been needing it. But everything's going good. It's been busy. My oldest daughter, Kirsten, she's been in South Carolina for 10 or 11 years, and she came back. She's staying with us right now. I'm trying to get on her feet and get squared away. 10, 12, 13 years ago, she made a few mistakes here, lost her license, and so she come back to get all that squared away, get her license back. She has college degrees, but she can't take a job, a good paying job, because she doesn't have a license. She can't drive. So she's working on that now. She is working. We are carrying her back and forth. Well, Kim is. I have to pick her up some days, but we're taking her. She's earning her money so that she can get her license thing squared away. So it's been pretty busy. When I get home from helping Chris is late at night, it's too late to do anything as far as putting a video up or filming or doing anything. And I've been I run myself to exhaustion. Yesterday, I was literally sick. It felt like I was going into a dream when I was awake, standing there. It's like almost like I was going to black out, but not black out. It just weird. I've just worked myself. Been waking up between midnight and 4 in the morning every morning, going to bed between 9 and 10:30, and the lack of sleep for the past week and a half has caught up to me. This morning I woke up at 4 again, but I stayed in bed. I drifted off and on until about 6:30, and then I finally had to get up. The dogs would not let me. If I started to doze off, they would come up and try to lick me in the face and wake me up, and they will not let me sleep. And I got a sleep disorder. If I get woke up, if I go to bed at 10 at night and somebody wakes me up at 10:30, I cannot go back to sleep. I have to wait till the following night and then go to sleep. They prescribed medication that I could take and I could sleep, but I don't like it, because if we have a fire or an intruder come in, anything happen at night, it messes my head up so much. I'm so drunk that I can't function, and I am not taking anything that has that effect on me. It's me and two women and a young girl in the house, and if something major happens, it's going to be up to me to make sure that we survive. And I have got to be sober-minded and ready to focus and function if something happens, and so I don't take the medication. I quit taking it in 2013. It's just too strong for me, and but it's all they got for what my particular diagnosis is. That's the medication, and it's just too much. But anyhow, that's a bunch of nonsense. We've been having experiences, things, we've heard the hooting, we've heard the screams, we've heard that weird Asian-like talking, the language, that weird language, the howls, we've heard all of that, and it's gotten to the point when you do hear it, it doesn't really stand out. If they're doing that howling thing or the hooping, it'll take a few times of them doing it for it to dawn on you what it is, because we've heard it so much through the years. But recently we started hearing a new sound. It almost sounds like it's not a dog bark, but it sounds like a bark of some type. It's kind of a like that. And we started hearing that maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's just recently. I don't know exactly when it started, but that's a new one. There's been a few odd things that has happened. The other day, 2 weeks ago, Kirsten, my daughter, my oldest one, we thawed out a deer ham or deer shoulders, some deer meat, and you have to kind of trim it up, take the bone out, the silver skin. There's parts you trim off before you cook it, and we take stuff like that, the trimmings, and we take it out. We got a particular spot where we dump them, and between the buzzards and the coyotes, it'll be gone by the next day. And Kirsten didn't know where it was, so she tried to find it on the four-wheeler. She came back, she couldn't find it, so I had to kind of show her where it was. And well, she took the four-wheeler over there, and you can drive right to the spot, but she didn't know that. She parked, and she walked that 100 feet or so back to that spot. She got there, and she turned the pot over to dump the bones out, and she had a spatula or something that she was scraping the stuff that was sticking to the inside of the pot. She was scraping that off, and she banged the pot, bang, 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 and something was right there close to her. She said it was 2 feet. You could feel the ground thumping, and it sounded like it was just running right over the top, or walking very fast over the trees. It was breaking limbs, snapping stuff, going away from her. But she said it was right there, 10 or 15 feet from her when it took off, and it was right as the sun was going down. The sun was behind the trees. There was no more sun, and it was getting dark. The skyline to the west was still lit up from the sun. It just wasn't totally dark, but under the trees it was pitch black under the trees. And where she dumped it at, it's an open trail, but the sides are really thick, and there's a little clearing right there off to one side, a little 5-foot clearing right beside that trail, and you dump it right there, because the coyotes formed a game trail through there, and anything you dump, they come and get it, they're gone. And that's where she was, and it was on the trail, the coyote trail. And she said she could feel the steps through the ground, and she did not bring her pistol with her. She had it, but it was on the four-wheeler, and she didn't think to put it in her pocket, because she thought she was walking about 20 feet with that pot and going to dump it, so she just left it on the four-wheeler. Well, she kept walking and walking and walking. Then she found the spot. Well, she didn't go back to get it. She went ahead and dumped the pot. And anyway, that's when stuff happened. So that happened to her. So she's scared to death to go out into the woods now by herself, especially if it's getting late. So I don't know if the activity's ramping up or if something new has showed up. I don't know. I have no idea. There's been a few strange things happening with sounds. Something hit the top of the truck. Today's Sunday, so it had been Thursday. I went to leave to go to Chris's, and I backed up. I parked right in front of the house, and I backed up around the fence, and I took off. And when I come around the little curve in the drive, there's no trees overhead. It's open. I got it cleared on the sides. And when I come around there, it sounded like a cinder block hit the roof of the truck. It was so loud. I don't know what hit it. It wasn't a bird dropping an acorn on the roof. It sounded like a limb. It scared the tar out of me. It hit so hard. And I stopped the truck and I looked around. This was about 7 o'clock in the morning. There's nothing around me. So I opened the door and I stood on the side of the truck and kind of stood up where I could see the roof. And there was nothing on the roof, but there was a mark, probably that wide and about that long, where something, you could see the shiny spot. The truck's real dusty, and it was a shiny spot that was cleaned off where something hit it. It looked geometric, but I don't know. I don't know what hit it. I didn't see anything, and I did not get out to walk around to see if I could find anything. I just got back in the truck and I took off. Kim had already left, so it was just me. The dogs were inside the house, and so I got to the gate, closed the gate, and I left. But outside of that, it hadn't been really crazy. It's just been some weird stuff. Seen a light beam, what I believe to be a light beam, and it came from up. The creek is that direction, and where we're at, it's probably 600 yards, I would guess, from right here, that direction. And the house is back that way, about probably 600 yards, but sort of at an angle. And it was coming from near the creek. It looked like a flashlight beam, like somebody shined a really bright flashlight beam up. It didn't come from the sky down, it came from the ground up. And I just happened to glance over there. I stepped out on the front porch, and anytime I come out, I'm always looking up, because we see stuff in the sky regularly. And I just stepped out, I was looking up, I didn't see none, and I just happened to turn my head that way, and I seen the light come on, and it went off. But it wasn't a flashlight beam. It starts at the light, and it kind of gets wider as it goes away. This was straight. It was like a column. It went straight up, but it was the same width all the way up. And it wasn't super bright. I could see it probably between 50 and 80 feet above the trees. It only went about that far. And I couldn't see it no further than that. But it came from the ground, and it went straight up. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to even guess on that. It wasn't incredibly bright, but it was very easy to see. If I would have had a camera going, even an action camera with no low light mode, it would have certainly picked that up. It wasn't as bright as one of these super bright flashlights with these Cree LEDs. It was about probably as bright as a standard mag light. A 2 D cell or 2 C cell mag light, just a plain mag light. It was about that bright, but the beam was the same diameter all the way up. And if I were to guess, somewhere between 3 and 6 feet in diameter. It was quite a ways off from me, so it may have been bigger than that. I don't know. It's hard to tell. The trees are just all clustered together. If it was in a row of trees, it's 10 foot between the trees, and it would be easy to guess it. But the way the trees are up there, you can't see down any row. They're everywhere. And it was between the trees, but I could see sections of that column of light through the tree limbs, and then I could see it clearly above the tree, and then it went off. It only lasted for a couple seconds and it went out. I did not go over there and check to see what it was. I don't know what it was. I haven't been over there at all to check, even during the day. I haven't been home during the day. Today's the first day that I've been here. But anyhow, we are doing well. Everything's going good. It's Mother's Day. Kim and Kirsten went up to, I think they went over to Chipley. They went to pick up something for dinner, and then they're coming back. Rosie is at the house with the dogs and her baby Goose, and so I'm fixing to head back up there. I just wanted to put something up, let you guys know what's going on, where we're at, and if you happen to see me, if you think you see me somewhere and it's on an orange motorbike that doesn't look like my old one, it's most likely me. And that's the reason for putting that video clip up, or that section of clip earlier in this video where I showed you what the new bike looks like. I did not get a brand new one. The one I got was a used one. It was one owner. It was an elderly fella that owned it, and it's got very low miles on it. My bike had low miles, 85 to 8,700 miles, somewhere up in there, and this bike's got far less than that on it. We still got a little bit of a warranty on it. But anyhow, I'm happy with it, and maybe I'll see you guys here very soon somewhere. I'm planning on doing some riding this year. I can leave the house now without having to trailer the bike and go through all that rigmarole. So I'll be able to pack some things up and get on the road, and I won't be able to go far because I've got to be back because of the animals, just everything at the house. We have to be here all the time. Someone's got to be here. But I love you all. God bless you. Have an amazing afternoon. Happy Mother's Day again to all of our mothers out there, and I'll see you guys down the road. Have an amazing day today. Be blessed all this week. And I pray that fortune and great health fall before you no matter where you go. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.